In our top story this evening, 78 students graduate the Portsmouth Secondary, told to build in spite of challenges. St. Kitts Music Festival off to an electrifying start with top-notch performance from Dominica's Band of the Year, the Signal Band. Back-to-back quake strike Venezuela, and another exciting round of play as FIFA World Cup 2026 continues. Good evening, everyone, near and far. You are watching Emo Nightly News for June 25th, 2026, and I am your presenter, Soanna Gordon. I'll be back shortly with the details of the news. Now for our top story. The Portsmouth Secondary School celebrated another milestone today, Thursday, as it hosted its 44th graduation ceremony at the American-Canadian School of Medicine under the inspiring theme, The Architecture of Success, Building Triumphs from Challenges. The ceremony recognized the achievements of the 72 members of the graduating class of 2026. Principal Mrs. Shanda Coffey Johnson addressed graduates, parents, and invited guests, encouraging the graduating class to continue striving for excellence despite life's obstacles.
As principal, I've observed your journey in crafting that future. Remember, success isn't mere luck. It is a structure built upon the challenges that you faced and will continue to encounter even beyond these walls. Every building starts with a blueprint. Similarly, your vision for shaping the life that you deserve is your blueprint. Take time to define this vision honestly as it can evolve. Without a clear vision, life may lack direction. Determine your own success based on your personal values rather than external standards. Foundations are critical for success. Combining talent and enthusiasm with habits and discipline, small, consistent actions like completing your assignments and practicing, creating routines that support long-term goals. Challenges serve as opportunities for growth, revealing areas that need improvement. Embrace setbacks.
The Portsmouth Secondary School is known for its dynamic special performances, and they did not disappoint this year with dance presentations of Raw and Explosion by students. Well-loved, respected, and celebrated former student, now attorney K.L. London, delivered the keynote address, challenging graduates to remain focused, embrace change, and use every challenge as a stepping stone towards success.
Trials are going to come. They're going to come. There's no if about it. The last 5 years and overcome that challenge. So right now, your mind is at a point where it is going to start seeing challenges as just another stepping stone in this journey of success. I cannot tell you how many times during my studies I wondered if I would have finished school. Between the financial commitment, my own personal difficulties, and just life happening, there were several times when I thought, well, perhaps I should defer this for some time, or perhaps I'm trying to shoot too far because of everything that was going on around me. But at the end of the day, I stood up to the adversities, and I'm encouraging you that when they come, don't shy away. I think Ms. Johnson said it best when she said, allow me to use your words, please. She said, embrace the setbacks as feedback to learn. So when you go through some setbacks, don't kill yourself over it. Use it as a teaching opportunity.
Meanwhile, Parliamentary Representative of the Portsmouth constituency and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Honorable Finella Wenham Shepherd, represented the Honorable Minister of Education at the graduation ceremony. She encouraged the students to become innovators, entrepreneurs, and problem solvers who can help drive positive change in their communities and country.
Critical thinkers, entrepreneurs, compassionate leaders, and citizens who are willing to solve problems rather than simply complain about them. As you leave this institution, this beloved PSS, I wish to caution you that as technologies evolve at a much faster pace, you will need to constantly learn, unlearn, and relearn. Keep in mind that that which is established yesterday is foundation of what you do today. As you learn, do not turn away from your village, community, and country. Still, I must tell you that the world of imagination is your oyster, and your capacity for innovation is boundless.
It was a proud and exciting moment for attendees as the students were presented with their diplomas and rewarded with awards and prizes for their academic achievements and outstanding performances throughout their years at the Portsmouth Secondary School.
Dalia Angol. Amina Kante. Ariel Charles.
Leader. Asna Thomas.
Valedictorian Malia Etienne delivered the farewell address on behalf of the graduating class, reflecting on their journey and expressing gratitude to parents, teachers, and supporters who helped shape their success.
No more collectively trying to convince our teachers that they never assigned homework. No more starting assignments with the words HRGPT, and no more seeing the same familiar faces every morning. Nothing is guaranteed. Not friendships, not opportunities, not success, and not even tomorrow. Nonetheless, One thing I can assure you is there will be challenges in life. If these past 5 years has taught us anything, it is that challenges are the building blocks from which our success stories are shaped. They are the bricks from which resilience is formed, the moments that reveal our strength, and the experiences that mold us into who we are meant to become. We entered secondary schools as strangers on the screen and are leaving as young adults carrying memories, lessons, and pieces of one another. And if we were able to build something so beautiful from uncertainty, then I have every confidence that we can build extraordinary lives from whatever challenges await us next. Congratulations, class of 2026. This is not the end of our story. It is simply the foundation.
The graduates also paid tribute in song before salutatorian Gabriella Alexis delivered the vote of thanks. Congratulations to the Portsmouth Secondary School class of 2026 from all of us at EmoNews. We wish each graduate continued success as they pursue their dreams and build bright futures. Several Dominican students were recognized for outstanding academic achievement at Monroe University's Latin Awards ceremony on June 8th in New York, ahead of the June 11th commencement at Radio City Music Hall. Arad Moses graduated magna cum laude, while Kimon Elize, Tyra Francis, Milano Remy, and Chanel Seraphine earned summa cum laude honors. Remy, who achieved a perfect 4.0 GPA, also received the Dean's Award from the School of Allied Health Professions. The graduates credited their success to the support of family, faculty, and university leadership, highlighting Monroe University's mentorship and student-focused environment. Special thanks were extended to President Mark Jerome and Dominican nationals starring Brayboy, Roberta Castillo, and Joan Laura for their guidance and encouragement. Monroe University awarded degrees to 2,023 students in the class of 2026, with an additional 1,276 students expected to complete their studies this summer. Congratulations to the Monroe University class of 2026. Plans for the construction of Dominica's synthetic athletics track at Point Round, Portsmouth, moved a step closer this week, following a meeting of the government's Technical Project Committee with key stakeholders. The meeting held on Monday focused on reviewing the proposed design under the project's master plan and discussing the next steps toward implementation. The synthetic track is being developed with support from World Athletics and the Qatar Development Fund. Once completed, the facility will provide Dominican athletes with a modern venue for training and competition, while strengthening the development of track and field and enhancing the country's sporting infrastructure. And finally, in local news this evening, Dominica's very own Shelley and the Signal Band, the Band of the Year, will take the stage this evening at the St. Kitts Music Festival. This is the second time the band will be performing. They are expected to deliver an energetic performance for festival goers. Shelley spoke to EmoNews ahead of tonight's performance.
I've been to St. Kitts a few times, but that few times and that moment started last year. Last year was our first time, very first time visiting St. Kitts after touring about 80% of the Caribbean. And that was through the St. Kitts Music Festival. And it's just crazy how after that, like St. Kitts just continued to show love, and we were always getting calls like every month to come to St. Kitts. And we had to kind of, save ourselves for the festival because we can't be here everywhere because we want to come back and play on the biggest stage in the Caribbean, which is the St. Kitts Music Festival. So, we honored to be back-to-back performers. Just want to touch a little bit on Bouillon as well. I hear a lot of people say Bouillon is having a moment, or Bouillon is very trending right now. And I think Shelley and Signal Band being on the music festival and Bouillon Music being on the music festival shows that it's not just a moment, but it's a movement.
The highly anticipated St. Kitts Music Festival gets underway tonight at Festival Village, promising an exciting lineup of performances and a heartfelt tribute to one of the Federation's beloved entertainers. One of the highlights of the opening night will be a special performance by Collision Band in honor of the late Jermaine Chubby Clark. The tribute will celebrate his life, vibrant spirit, and lasting contribution to the music industry, giving patrons an opportunity to remember the joy and energy he brought to every stage. Festival organizers say they are anticipating a successful event with strong attendance and an excited atmosphere over the coming days. And that's all for tonight's local news. We'll be right back with original news.
From 5 numbers to financial freedom. Who will be the first Match 5 winner? Match 5, Dominica wins.
In regional news, Grenada's Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, paid a courtesy call on the President of Suriname, Her Excellency Jennifer Gierlyn Simmons, during his visit to Paramaribo for the Suriname Energy, Oil and Gas Summit. Prime Minister Mitchell, accompanied by Mr. Nazim Burke, head of Grenada's Technical Working Group on Oil and Gas Exploration, met with the Surinamese President to discuss areas of mutual interest, including energy security, food security, regional connectivity, climate resilience, and sustainable development. The leaders also explored opportunities for collaboration and knowledge sharing as Grenada advances its own oil and gas exploration efforts. Prime Minister Mitchell highlighted Suriname's experience in developing its energy sector while safeguarding national interest and emphasized the importance of regional cooperation among CARICOM member states. Discussions further focused on climate change adaptation, disaster resilience, and improving access to financing for small island developing states. The meeting reaffirmed Grenada's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations with Suriname and working with regional partners to advance sustainable development across the Caribbean. And in St. Kitts, the disabled community was the focus of a hurricane preparedness awareness initiative hosted by the District 2 Volunteer Emergency Team at the NEMA headquarters through a special Spa Day event. The event provided participants with an opportunity to receive vital, potentially life-saving information on hurricane preparedness in a relaxed, welcoming, and comfortable environment. By combining personal care services with preparedness education, organizers fostered meaningful engagement and encouraged attendees to learn how to better protect themselves and their families during the hurricane season. Spa services were provided by the cosmetology unit of the Advanced Vocational Education Center and included manicures, pedicures, hairstyling, and hair trimming. These services served as an incentive for participation while creating an atmosphere that promoted community connection, inclusivity, and awareness. Finally, in regional news, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says investment in oil refineries across the Caribbean is essential to strengthening the region's energy security. Holness made these remarks during a press conference on Wednesday while attending the 6th Suriname Energy, Oil and Gas Summit and Exhibition, taking place from June 23rd to 26th. The summit is bringing together regional and international energy stakeholders to explore opportunities across Suriname's growing energy sector and engage with the industry's full value chain. Holness added that while oil and gas will continue to play an important role in the region's development, Caribbean nations cannot rely solely on these resources and must also pursue a diversified and sustainable energy future.
It is clear that the energy demands in the future is going to rise, and it is probably going to rise at a much faster pace than we are able to provide new discoveries of oil and gas, increase the efficiency of the use of oil and gas, and to replace old fields and potential supplies that have gone dormant. So there will be need for an expansion in renewables and possibly the development of nuclear. So the strategy is to, yes, we will develop oil and gas, we will participate in that development, but we will also enhance and accelerate our investments and use of renewables and position ourselves to be able to use nuclear when that becomes available for small countries like ours to put in our energy mix.
And that's all for tonight's regional news. We'll be right back with international news. And internationally, a powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake has struck near the northern coast of Venezuela, collapsing homes and buildings in the capital city of Caracas and causing widespread destruction. It happened just 40 seconds after a foreshock with a magnitude of 7.2 rocked the area. Acting Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez has confirmed fatalities and declared a state of emergency. Hundreds of emergency workers are executing search and rescue operations. One Caracas resident who survived a quake that hit the capital in 1967 said the quakes were unlike anything he has experienced before. Another resident who escaped a damaged building said the scene was like a horror movie. The earthquake of 1967 had a magnitude of 6.3 and caused widespread damage with more than 200 people killed and 2,000 injured. The U.S. Tsunami Warning Centers said there is no tsunami threat, canceling an advisory that warned of potentially dangerous waves for areas including Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. North Korea on Tuesday commissioned its largest ever warship, a 5,000-ton destroyer that military analysts say could give Pyongyang's adversaries something more to think about in a time of crisis. In a speech at Nampo shipyard on the country's west coast, leader Kim Jong-un said the introduction represented a new chapter in its military history, declaring that its navy has put an end to over 70 years of its stagnation. In terms of military hardware, the navy was the weakest of all the services of our armed forces, Kim said. The North Korean naval fleet has long been eclipsed by South Korea and United States naval forces, which field modern warships and submarines with sophisticated electronics and powerful missile launch capabilities. The destroyer commissioned Tuesday, the Choyon, is expected to have anti-ship and land attack missile capabilities, although neither can be confirmed to date, according to analysts. The new ship is a step up from North Korea's traditional naval setup, which has relied heavily on asymmetric coastal forces such as submarines, fast attack craft, coastal artillery, mines, and special forces infiltration. The president said that the Choyon will be the first ship of a modern North Korean fleet, with even bigger vessels coming. He alluded to difficulties along the way, saying the country's naval buildup is never plain sailing, possibly referencing the troubles of the Choyon's sister ship, the Kangkon, which capsized during its launch in May 2025. And finally, in international news, France, at the epicenter of the extreme heat wave currently affecting much of Europe, endured its hottest day since records began on Tuesday, sparking nationwide power outages. The UK and Spain hit new records for any day in June. Europe is sweltering under a fierce heat dome, bringing dangerous conditions to many areas of the fastest warming continent. At least 40 people have drowned, seeking relief from the heat since June 18th, the French Prime Minister said. Though heat-related deaths are difficult to track in real time, Météo France compared this heat wave to one in 2003 that killed nearly 15,000 people. Several drowning incidents have also been reported in Germany. The heat wave has caused air conditioning to be part of the political debate ahead of next year's presidential election in France. The far-right leader Marine Le Pen has promised a massive nationwide air conditioning plan if elected. The UK Met Office has issued exceptionally rare red extreme heat warnings, with temperatures forecast to soar to at least 102.2 degrees Fahrenheit or 39 degrees Celsius, which would obliterate the UK's June heat record of 96 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius. The heatwave spreads to other parts of Western Europe on Wednesday, with an orange alert for parts of the Netherlands. Authorities also warn that the risk of forest fires is higher during a prolonged heatwave. And that's all your international news for this evening. We'll be right back with sports.
This summer, the Caribbean's premier music experience returns. Welcome to the 28th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival, featuring the incredible Kilani, Fantasia, Beres Hammond, Luciano, Soca King Marshall Montano, Soca Sensation Voice, and Vaughn. Dancehall giant Movado, Idonia, and the new wave, Valiant. Also featuring Massacre, Cranium, Taurus Riley, Steel Pulse, Dean Fraser and the Black Soil Band, Shanil Muir, Diani, Rodney Tatat, and Zoo. The legendary New Vibes Band International, Brandon and ASAP Band, Shelly and Signal Band, plus Edwin Yearwood and Crossfire, Rukas HE, and Garlic and the Upper Level Band. June 25th to June 27th, Warner Park Cricket Stadium, St. Kitts. Get your tickets now at stkittsmusicfestival.com. The St. Kitts Music Festival, where music meets paradise.
First up in sports, the Will Strathmore Stevens Primary secured an impressive 17-3 victory over Wesley Primary in the Sports Division Primary Schools Division 1 Netball Championship. The match played in Marigot saw the Will Strathmore Stevens dominating from start to finish to claim a convincing win. Leading the scoring for the Will Strathmore Stevens were Risa Prince, who converted 2 of 9 attempts, and Janique Gist, who netted 15 of 24 attempts. For Wesley Primary, Shanaira Jules scored 3 goals from 4 attempts. The victory gives the WS Stevens valuable momentum as the primary school's netball championship continues. The race for the FIFA World Cup round of 32 intensified on Wednesday as several teams secured qualification with impressive performances. Brazil booked their place in the knockout stage with a commanding 3-0 victory over Scotland. Vinicius Jr. scored twice, while Neymar made his long-awaited return to international action after nearly 3 years away because of injury. Mexico completed a perfect group stage, defeating Czechia or the Czech Republic 3-0 to finish top of Group A with 3 wins from 3 matches and advanced confidently to the round of 32. South Africa created history by defeating South Korea 1-0 to qualify for the World Cup knockout stage for the first time ever, marking one of the tournament's biggest surprises so far. In Group B, Switzerland secured first place with a 2-1 victory over Canada, while Bosnia and Herzegovina defeated Qatar 3-1 to keep their knockout hopes alive. Attention now turns to fixtures, with Germany taking on Ecuador, Netherlands facing Tunisia, Japan meeting Sweden, and the United States playing Turkey as the battle for the remaining knockout places continues. That's all for sports. We'll be right back with the weather report. You have been watching EmoNews for June 25th, 2026. I am your presenter, Soana Gordon. I'll be back with you tomorrow with more of the stories shaping Dominica, the region, and the world. Our EmoNews team is currently on the ground in St. Kitts, covering the annual music festival. Stay connected to our social media pages for updates on all the exciting events and happenings from our Caribbean neighbor. Until tomorrow evening, goodbye and thank you for watching.